Anticipation is mounting for today's game, and we've got two quarterbacks looking to make an impact. It's the Jaguars going up against the Nighthawks. With that, let's get out to Oklahoma City. Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis have the call.
Thank you very much, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL. The National Football League is here and on the air. Tonight, we wrap up Week 3 with a good Monday nighter here between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Oklahoma City Nighthawks.
Detroit! Detroit! Let's go!
They'll run for the first time with Lacey. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A nice carry there of 15 yards.
And that's how you get started and open up a game. Really well-blocked play. Picked up a nice chunk of yardage. If you're the offensive line, that's exactly what you talked about all week long in your meetings. Establish the line of scrimmage and take control. And they gave their running back plenty of room to rumble.
And a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he can turn it into a big play at any time.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Time running out here on the play clock. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and that brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Brad Nortman on to punt it away. Taken in at the 11. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Watkins alone on the left side. On 1st and 10, it's Griffin finding his safety valve here. That's complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's brought down. They give him 14 yards. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. So the D-line's going to spread out. On 1st down, Griffin. And complete here to Carlos Hyde. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 8 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there. And there we saw.
He gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Let's go. Green, 39. Green.
Out of the Wildcat, a wide receiver carry. It's a pickup of 33 yards. And that'll set him up now, 1st and goal.
For a running back, that kind of encompasses everything right there. Terrific run, but he almost gets into the end zone. Remember, almost. Didn't quite get there. Most running backs I know, they don't want to come out of the game now. They're screaming to the bench, call it again, I want to get into the end zone.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Got to give a lot of credit to the defensive front there. They held their ground, pretty much stoned them on that play, and ended up creating a lost yardage play.
Yeah, drop him from the 1 back to the 2. And now it's 2nd and goal. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Another shot here from the 2 as they come up on 3rd and goal. Uh-oh, Charles, now you get to talk about your old spot, the secondary. Very key here in this one.
You have to cut me off because, I'll talk about them all game long. Love to see those guys match up and challenge the best wide receivers.
Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And that'll make it 3-0 here in the 1st. So they get the ball first here in front of the home crowd under the lights, and they get 3 points out of it.
And there's something about a night game, isn't there? A little extra snap, a little extra crisp in the air. What a terrific way to get things started. A little extra excitement, a little extra dazzle for the home crowd.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change. After a turnover, wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now Bortles. It's complete to Fuller. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Here's Matt Forte with his first carry. And he will possibly get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. On the other hand, it will definitely take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. And he's got Fuller. And able get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Terrell Suggs in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Bortles throwing on second down. Fuller brings it in over the middle. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. The play clock's running down. Bortles to throw on second down. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. On first down, this is Forte. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Bortles going to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and not. The ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Second down now after the incompletion. It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Play clock winding down. And now the play clock in issues, so Gus Bradley's going to call a timeout. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. So 2nd and 10 here. They They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Will Fuller, his 4th touchdown on the year. And once again, the Jaguars are back out in front. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they had 3. But they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown! A big play there. 77 yards. And his guys have once again taken the lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, give up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Call it a gain of 3. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And he finds Julius Thomas. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. So a pause here for us as well. Time to pay some bills. Back with more after this. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Bortles. And Green with a catch left side. And he's brought down. And the play. He goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. They'll give it up to Forte. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Second down following the run. On second down, here's Bortles. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Now this offense ready to take over again. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Oh, and the defender took some liberties there with a late hit, roughing the passer.
The league has done a great job of defining what is a late hit and illegal contact on a quarterback. The defenders really have to get in line.
Watkins alone on the left side. Now Griffin on first down. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll throw on first down with Griffin. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be a second down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On second down, here's Griffin. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They come up in an offset eye. And to give this time to the tailback. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
They go play action here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and goal.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Griffin will throw again. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
To throw again is Griffin. Flush to his right. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On second down, Griffin escaping the pressure right. And it's caught. Touchdown. Charles Clay in the final seconds of the first half. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Watkins alone on the left side. On first down, Griffin. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Let's go. Blue landed.
They'll let their receiver runner out of the Wildcat. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Third down now following the run. This time Griffin will throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Prince, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Throwing now, Griffin on first down. He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
It's a gain of 5. And just like that, it's third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
From the gun on third down, Griffin. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Dante Fowler able to track him down for a loss of 13, and it'll bring up fourth down. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed, because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
To throw is RG3. He's got time. Steps away to his left. And it's a touchdown. RG3, his third touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now Lacey. And he takes this across the 15 to the 17. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done. So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. It's almost a tendency breaker.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Say what you want about Eddie Lacy. He is really important to his team, and right now they're holding him down well below his normal yardage total, and his team's losing the game.
And we talk about it so often, how tough he is to bring down, but they found a way to do it.
Yeah, I think gang tackling, getting a lot of people to him, that's the key to everything. Not many guys can take him down one-on-one consistently.
Now they'll throw it. Bortles. Fuller brings it in over the middle. That one goes for 24 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Play clock down to 5, and they're going to burn a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. And this is incomplete. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. Throwing his Bortles on third down. Cooper's got it. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass trade in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And room there to work it inside the 25. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They go play action here, and that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Will Fuller with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Jaguars are back within a score. And this is no good. It's a missed extra point. Boy, in a tight game, how important might that turn out to be here as the 2nd half rolls along. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Griffin. Over the middle and caught by the tight end play. And he's brought down after a good game.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved him and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Welcome back, everybody, to Oklahoma City as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. 20-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
One of the good things offenses did years ago was they lettered their gaps the same on each side. A gap between guard and center on either side. That's what you want to control when you're trying to run the ball up the middle.
And why is that? Because
typically you either have a big nose guard in there in an odd front, three-man front, or you have defensive tackles that might line up in the A-gaps trying to gain an advantage and get upfield themselves. If you can control that, it gives the back plenty of space to pick and choose where to go.
And there, a great inside run, broke the contact and got some space. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Now they'll throw it with Griffin. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Third and long. It's Griffin. And that is incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up a fourth down. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And his kick here is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being...
And, the ball's out. Forte loses it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's a...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And last time they coughed it up. Fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
On first down, Bortles. He'll set up the screen to Lacey. A big play there on the screen pass. 35 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Now a first down carry. It's Lacey. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's brought down after a good game. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And it's first and goal now, but still 10 yards to go. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be second and goal. And quickly, they get to the line. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal. Good play here. Third down and goal from the 2. No gain on the play that time. So a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal.
Brandon, it's easy to make decisions from right up here where we are, right in the cheap seats, but let's be frank about this one. This isn't even a decision as far as I'm concerned. They have to go for it here. Field goal does you almost no good as time's running out in the game. If you want to win, you have to be aggressive here.
Time running out here on the play clock. Bortles got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Will Fuller with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. So here we go now as the Jaguars will go for 2. They'll run it with Lacey, but he will not get in. The defense stands tall, and they will hold on to their 1-point lead. So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Now last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he's brought down after a good game. It's a pickup of 21. And it'll give him the first down. And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. He'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to fight his way forward. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. That's going to leave him with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Getting late here in the 4th, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here. They come up in an offset eye.
44's Mike. 44's Mike. Check.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And a solid run down inside the 30. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. First down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. 7 yards to go on second down. Watkins alone on the left side. Griffin going to throw it. This is caught. Watkins. And touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And he's able to put it through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down.
Black 58 round. Black 58 round. Here we go now. Green 90. So.
They'll put Fuller in motion right.
Black 58 round. Black.
They'll look to throw. To the right side here, the tight end Thomas. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Oh, what a catch there by Cooper. 26 yards on the pickup there. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down. And they're going to speed things up here. He'll look to throw. Trying for Cooper again. This time he finds it. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Second down now after the pass completion. Back to throw. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete.
That was a difficult catch, and I admire the fact that he actually caught the football, worked so hard to get his feet down in bounds, trying to do the toe tap. My dad's an accomplished tap dancer. I'm not sure he would have gotten his feet in on that one.
Is he really?
That he is.
How about that? What about young Davis?
No, it did not. It did not crouch.
It didn't carry over.
No, it stopped right there.
Offense just a yard away from the line they need to gain. 3rd down. They'll put Fuller in motion right. Back to throw. And, a cruncher there as it's intercepted. A great read and it's picked off. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click
And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long, everybody.
boyfriend's got a cauliflower and I'm a... So sue me. Who you, Judge Judy? Stacking the rubies. If life was a movie, then you could just call me the Goonies. You're not relevant. Trolling on the internet. No respect. Haven't moved out of your parents' basement yet. Big neck. Coming with the beat that's gonna break your neck. You can hear me now.